Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be creating some super fun birthday decorations for my daughter's 8th birthday. She's obsessed with the K-pop Demon Hunters movie right now, so of course that's the theme she chose. I'll be using my Cricut machine to make a bunch of custom party decor, including a birthday banner, a couple of signs, a cake topper, and some water bottle labels. If you're planning a themed party or just love DIY crafts, I think you'll really enjoy this one, so let's get started. I'm going to start with the birthday banner. I'll be making it out of cardstock. I love the Recollections brand from Michaels. I picked up one that had a lot of different shades of purple in it. The K-pop Demon Hunters movie has a lot of purples in it. It also has some blues and pinks, so that's the color theme that I'll be using in the video. I'm in Cricut Design Space. The first thing I'm going to do is find a banner. I'll go to Images and just type in banner. I'm actually going to type in birthday banner. I'm going to use this one. I'll hit ungroup. I'm actually going to delete all of these except for one. I just like this banner, so I'm just going to use the solid background of it. To get rid of the H, I'll go down to contour and I'll hit hide all contours. It always saves that top one. I'm going to be cutting this out on purple cardstock. Just to get an idea of how it'll look, I'll just make it purple. I was trying to figure out what size to make my banner. It's going to be going above my table that's 5 feet, which is 60 inches. So I actually asked ChatGPT to help me. It gave me what it thought would be a good measurement for each individual banner. So I'm going to go with that. It did say 6 inches for the width, but I'm going to do 5.5. I've already tested this out, and 2 of these will fit on one construction paper if I do 5.5 compared to 6. So that'll cut down on half of my cardstock. I'll go up to my width and make it 5.5 inches. That makes the height 8.83. I'm going to have it say happy birthday, and I'll have 2 images also. I'm going to grab those right now. I just found this on Etsy. I'm also going to duplicate these, and I'm going to make the amount that I need. This top one is going to say happy, the bottom one birthday, and I'm going to put the images over here. I'm just going to cut these out like stickers, and I'm going to use vinyl for the letters. I'm going to upload the font for that. I found this on Etsy also, and I'm just going to type in H. I'm using a fun holographic vinyl for this, so I might just make it white. It really doesn't matter. I might make this just a little bit smaller. For my next letter, I'm just going to click on the H. I'll hit Command D to duplicate. I'll bring this over here. Then I am just going to type in the letter A. The next one, I'll just type in P. And I am just going to continue that until I have it all done. Okay, I have birthday done. Now I'll go and do the images. I'm just going to size this first. I'm also going to add an offset around this. I think it'll just help cut it a little bit easier. I'm going to make it quite a bit thinner. I'll hit accept. I'll change the offset to white. I think that looks really good. I do need to flatten those together. So I'll click in my layers panel on the print and cut. I'll hit shift on my keyboard and select the offset. Then I'll hit flatten. Now I'll go over to this one. I'll hit offset, apply, and I'll change that to white. I'm going to flatten this, and I might make it just a tiny bit smaller. Okay, I think that looks great. I am going to highlight over birthday. You can see the width is 53. My table's 60 inches, so I think that should be good, and I think ChatGPT had it about right. I'll go to the make screen. This fits on one sticker page, which is nice. This will be my holographic vinyl, and then this will all be my cardstock. And as you can see, it fits on one 12 by 12 sheet. I'll hit continue. It's going to do the print then cut first. I'll change it to my inkjet printer. I'm going to keep the bleed on and turn on my system dialog. I'll change the media and quality to best. Then I'll hit print. I'll be using HTV Ronce matte sticker paper today. I just recently did a video testing a bunch of matte sticker paper, and I have a ton of this to use up. All you need is a regular inkjet printer for this. I'll place this on my cutting mat, then the Cricut will read the registration lines, then cut this out. Next is the vinyl. I am going to select the vinyl setting and more for the pressure. I found this holographic vinyl in my craft room and I thought it was perfect. It has blue, purple, and pink in it, so the exact colors I was looking for. It doesn't say the brand on the back, but I am pretty sure it's Cricut brand. It also has a film over it to protect the vinyl, so I took that off before cutting. This will cut out a few of the letters, but then there's 2 more mats where I need to cut out this vinyl, so I'll add it back on and then do that a 3rd time. Let me know if you guys have watched this movie in the comments. When my daughter first asked to watch it, just because of the title, I was like very unsure about it, but I decided to watch it with her, and it actually isn't as bad as it sounds. Next is the cardstock portion. The Cricut will cut out the banners. Everything is cut out. Now I'm going to go in and weed out the excess vinyl. So back to the movie, it's about these pop singers who fight demons, but the actual message of it that I took away at least is about letting go of your shame, your fears, your self-doubt, and being honest with others about what you're going through. And it just reminds you that you don't have to hide behind a perfect image, and it's okay to show up as your real self. So that was my takeaways. Also, the music in it actually is very good. I forgot to take the clear film off of this one, so you can see me taking it off. Thankfully, it's still cut okay. I'm using Caesar transfer tape to transfer the vinyl onto the cardstock. You don't want a strong grip transfer tape for this because it can peel up that cardstock because it's paper. What I love about the Caesar transfer tape is it doesn't do that, but at the same time, it's still strong enough to release that vinyl. It is just the best. Once I started using this, I never went back. I'm just eyeballing these. I didn't have time to exactly measure it. Since it's just for her party, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm also using the same transfer piece for all of these, which is really nice. It saves a lot on transfer tape. Now I'm ready for the print then cut pieces. I went to take the backing off the letters and it was just very difficult and it started to rip, so I'll come back to that. As I was peeling this one, I accidentally peeled off the head, so I was struggling a little bit with that. The problem was the head stuck to the back and it was very sticky, so I ended up pulling it off. Thankfully, I was still able to save it. I just added the head back on and I honestly couldn't even tell a difference. I went back in Cricut Design Space and made a bigger offset for the letters just to make it easier for it to peel off. You can see how that worked so much better. I like to use the felt side of my squeegee. That helps prevent bubbles getting underneath the sticker paper. I'm using a hole punch to put 2 circles on each corner. That way I can just thread string through it to hang up the banner. I'll show some clips at the end of the video of her party and how all these turned out. I was bad about remembering to film it because I was in a rush trying to get everything ready, but I did have a little bit of footage. I bought this at Michael's a while ago for banners, and it is just the best. I'll have to try to find it on their website. I believe it's called Cord, but I could be wrong. For my next project, I found this picture frame at Walmart for like $2 or $3, and I'm going to print a picture on cardstock and put it inside it. I'm back in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to upload the next image I'll be using. For my kids' birthday parties, I usually have a big glass drink dispenser. I thought it would be really cute to put this image in a picture frame to set next to it. We have juice usually in it. My family has a tradition of making bug juice. I think it's something we've made up. It's not going to have pop, but I just thought this would be really cute to set next to it. What I'm going to do is grab a square. I'm going to change it to white. The picture frame is 4x6, so I will put that in here. I'm going to bring the rectangle to the back so I can line this up in the rectangle. I'm going to highlight over both and center it. I'm using Print Then Cut, and I'm going to print this on white cardstock. While both of these are selected, I'm going to flatten it. Then I'll go to the make screen. I'll send it to my printer like I did before, and I'll switch my quality to best. For my cut setting, I've selected medium cardstock. The Cricut will cut this out. This is such a fun and easy project to do for any type of occasion or holidays. Now I'm just going to open the back of the frame and add that cardstock inside. One thing that I mess up a lot with these projects, and I never learn, is that the frame sometimes will cover part of the picture. What I really need to do is measure the front of the frame to make sure that the picture fully fits inside, but I still think it looks so cute. Next, I'll be putting together the cake topper. I'm going to upload the image I'm using for this. I'll go to my shapes and grab a star. I want this to be kind of the background of this. I'm just going to bring this to the back over in the layers panel. Next, I'll grab my text, and I still have the K-Pop Demon Hunters font. I'm going to type in Quinn. I'll duplicate it, and I'll type in the letter 8. This star is going to be a bluish, purplish color. I think we'll try this one. I think I'll work on the name Quinn first. I'm going to click on my offset for this. I'll make it a little bit smaller. I think that looks good. I'll hit apply. Now I'm going to create another offset off of this. And I'll hit apply. I'm going to move the top 2 layers down, and I'm going to move this up. Now I'm going to go to my number 8. This is going to be on the side. I'll click offset for this. Then I'll hit offset again. I'm going to select all my 8s, and I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. I think that looks good. Now what I'm going to do is move these to the side. I might want to make this one a little bit bigger, but I do want to make sure I size it all together. So I'm going to center these, then bring this up here. Okay, let's try that. I'm going to grab this offset in the star. I'm going to go to a line and center it horizontally, which it looks like I had it like almost perfect. So that looks good for that. Now I'll grab the 2 offsets and the star. I'll go down to combine, and I'll unite all of these together. I like to select unite instead of weld. If you save your project and go back into it, then you can't do any adjustments, but with the unite you can. I'm going to send this to the back. Now I'm going to bring this up here and see how it looks. This is going to be a darker purple. Let's just do that for now. That doesn't really match up quite with it, but that's okay. I'll bring the 8 over. That's going to be that same purple cardstock. Then I'll bring the other 2 over. This is going to be a pink color. This one's going to be that same pink cardstock color. So I'll switch that. Now I'm going to work with this. One thing that I don't like about it is look at all these little dots. It's going to make it hard to print it out. So I think what I'll do is hit contour. I'm going to select hide all contours. And let's see. I want to bring the Huntrix back in. But let me see how that looks. That looks a lot better. It got rid of a couple stars and it got rid of a whole bunch of those little dots. Oh, I need to bring this back in. Okay, I like that a lot better. It's gonna make it easier to cut. I want this to cut out on white cardstock. I do feel like these little circles are going to be hard to cut out, so I'm going to select offset to make it a little bit easier. And I think I'm going to try to make it a similar purple. I think I want to do this purple. I like to do this quite a bit. I am in Etsy where I bought this file. I'm going to drag my color dropper over this purple. I'll select it. Then I'll go back into Cricut and I am going to make the offset that same color. This border matches with this. You can see with the offset, it's going to cut this a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is bring this back. I will highlight over both and align center. Then I'm going to flatten it. That's the important thing with that. Next, what I'm going to do is create another offset. I want it to go behind some more cardstock. That's going to be this dark purple. So I am going to go to offset. And then I might make this one a little bit bigger. I want it all connected. I'll hit apply and see how that looks. And I'll make this the dark purple. Okay, I think this is looking really good. I just want to make sure these are the same dark purples. Okay, there we go. I'll group it together. Okay, I think that looks great. I hope that that didn't throw you too much with all of the different offsets, but let me show you really quickly how this is going to work. This is going to be on white cardstock. These 2 pink are going to be on pink cardstock. This purple is going to be purple cardstock, and then this is going to be a bluish cardstock. Let me bring this back over here. I'm going to highlight over the whole thing and I'm just going to make it 6 inches. I'm going to hit the make button. It'll start with print then cut, then it'll go to my different cardstock colors. Like I said, I'm printing this off of white cardstock. It's 65 pound. For my daughter's birthday this year, we did just a family birthday. We had grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins there. I'm always torn between doing like a family birthday or a friend birthday. The birthday party locations are usually $300 plus, so it's just really expensive. If you have young kids, what do you do for birthday parties? I would love to hear. Next, the Cricut is going to cut out the cardstock pieces. My daughter is at such a fun age when it comes to birthday presents. She's kind of in that in-between age of younger kid and getting into being a bigger kid. This year, she got a mix of toys. She got bunk beds for her dolls, little live pets. She also got really excited about a dress, accessories like headbands, necklaces, that kind of thing. She's also really into crafts, so we got her a big marker set and one of those loom bracelet kits. Now I'm ready to piece this all together. I'm going to be using these foam dots. This is a small step, but it really elevates the project and gives it some dimension and just a cool look. I place the foam dots on solid areas of the cardstock so you won't be able to see it at all. Just a little tip, I like to wait to take those backings off until I'm ready to place it on the cardstock. Then I press it down and move on to the next one. Another gift I'm giving my daughter that I didn't mention is a giant ream of copy paper just for her. She's always stealing mine to draw on, so I figured I would just give her a whole package of it. I have different size foam dots, which makes it easy for these type of projects. I also added foam dots where I didn't need it, as you can see. Thankfully, I was able to just peel those back off. The pink was pretty thin, so I decided to use glue instead. I found that to be a lot easier. I talk about this a lot on my channel, but the Barely Art Glue is by far my favorite. I wanted to make little confetti out of foil, so I filmed that, then realized this is foil adhesive. It's sticky on the back, so it won't work. I won't show me trying to make that since it didn't work, but I decided to use a couple of those on my cake topper. These are little disco balls. This is the cake topper after it's already been used on her cake, but I wanted to show that I hot glued a skewer to the back of it. Next, I'm going to be making my water bottle labels. I'm going to measure this before going into Cricut Design Space. The width looks like about 8.125. For the height, I decided to do 1.5. For the water bottle label, I opened up a project that I made earlier this year. It's going to make it a lot easier since I basically have a template already. I think I'm going to grab another shape. I'll make this the size that I had measured, which was 8.125 by 1.5. These are different water bottles from last time, so the measurements are a little different. I'm going to upload a digital background that I found from Creative Fabrica. And I am going to slice this out of here. I'm actually going to turn this. I'm going to highlight over both of these and I'll hit slice. Then we can see how this looks. I think that looks good. I'm just going to rotate it. To make this easier, like I said, I'm just going to use these same images. I believe I found these on Creative Fabrica. I'll try to find the links for it. I'm going to highlight over both and I will center vertically. This one I'll just kind of eyeball. Now I'll grab the same font that I've been using this whole time. I'm going to type in Quinn is turning 8. I'll make it a little bit smaller. Then I'm going to highlight over both of these and center. I'm going to upload a couple images. I'll just make these smaller and I'm going to place these inside this rectangle. I'm trying to decide with the legs if I want it to go to the bottom. Let me see. Actually, I'll just hit align bottom. I think I like that. I also want to make the words a different color. I like this pink color, so I'm just going to try to match it with that. I think that looks good. I'm going to delete this and these. Okay, now what I'm going to do is highlight over this entire thing and I'll hit flatten. I'll click on the make screen and I want to make 15 of these. The easiest way to do that is click on project copies. It looks like it brings it on 4 pages. I'll hit continue and I'll follow the same process with sending it to the printer. I'm making a lot of print and cut projects in this video, so this will just follow that same process. I like to use my cup cradle to add my label. I center it, then I start wrapping the label around the water bottle. The trickiest part is getting it to line up. As you can see, I didn't quite get it lined up well, so I was able to pick it back up and readjust it. I'll show a final look of it at the end. For my last project, I'm busting out the Cricut Venture machine. I'll be creating a larger than matte project, making a microphone and disco ball. I'm back in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to make 2 larger than matte projects. This is actually my first time making these, so we'll see how it goes. I found both of these images in Cricut Design Space. I did go in and contour out some pieces for both of these just to make it easier to cut. I want a solid background for both of these, so I'm going to duplicate them. Then I'm going to go back into the contour button. I'm going to hide all contours. Usually the top one is not selected, but for some reason this one is. So I am going to click on this, then I need to click on that star. Now I'll go to my microphone and hit hide all contours, but I'll click this top one and then get rid of that one. I'm going to be using purple cardstock, so I'll switch both of these to purple. I'm going to size these and I want them to be sized together, so I'm actually going to center these and group them so that I can easily size them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a square for a guide. My mat is 28 inches by 24 inches. So I'm going to make it that size. Now I just want to make these fit inside this guide. Okay, that looks good. What I'm going to do now is ungroup both of these. I'm using black poster board, so I'm actually going to attach these so that it will cut this out just like that on my black poster board. Now I'm going to work with these. I have 12 by 12 cardstock I'm using for these, so I need to slice the pieces. I'm going to grab a square again and make it 12 inches. I'll start with the microphone. What I'm going to do is just try to get as much of it as I can. I'll hit duplicate, and then I want the rest of it here. You want to make sure the 2 black squares are touching, so I'm going to use my down arrow until I see that. I know I didn't do this perfectly. If you have any tips, if you've done these larger than matte projects, let us know. I need to do a little more research on them. I just didn't have time. So now I'm going to highlight over the microphone and this first square. You can only slice 2 at a time. I'll go down and select slice, then move this out of the way. And here's my one piece. Now I'm going to highlight over both of these and slice. There's 2 pieces there. Now I'm going to grab another square. I should have duplicated that. And this disco ball is going to have to be in 4 pieces. So I'm going to start with the bottom. I'll duplicate it. Then I'll duplicate it again. And then one more time. Now I'll do the same thing. I will just slice out all of these pieces. I am ready to hit the make button. It'll pull this onto one mat. These I need to switch it to 12 by 12. And I can still use my Venture mat for this. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. For my cut setting for the black, I'll do poster board and I'll do medium cardstock for the cardstock. I bought this black poster board at Walmart for like $1. Something I messed up in Cricut Design Space though is I used my guide for the full mat, but as you can see, the poster board is only 22 inches wide. As you can tell, I haven't used my Venture in a while, so I'm just looking at all the prompts on the computer to make sure I have everything set up correctly. I will say, for how intimidating the Cricut Venture looks, it's actually very user-friendly. I load the mat into the Cricut Venture and it'll start cutting. Sorry, my camera angle isn't great here, but you can see it cuts off part of the disco ball. Thankfully, it ended up working for the microphone. Remove it from the mat. Also, because I know that I mess up all the time, I bought a backup black poster board, so I'm glad I did. Before I cut out another disco ball, I'm just going to finish going through the purple cardstock. For the Venture, you place it on the bottom left of the mat. I'll just follow the same process for the others. Now I'm ready to start piecing the purple sheets together. To do that, I'm using Scotch tape. If you've made larger than mat projects, how do you adhere the pieces to the black sheet? I started rolling the tape and that was going to take way too long, so thankfully I found some double-sided tape and used that instead. After that, I just placed the purple sheet on top of the poster board. I kind of messed up on the bottom, so I was able to adjust it a little bit. I struggled a little more with the disco ball. There was a lot of those straight edges and I just couldn't get them lined up perfectly. Thankfully, since it's a big project, it's really not that noticeable. I didn't want to deal with tape with this one, so I ended up using the Barely Art glue. One thing I will say, I wish I used white poster board instead of black. I think it would look a little bit better, but that's okay. Like I said earlier, I was so bad about getting final videos, so in a second it'll go into a clip of them hanging on my fireplace. Here's my larger than mat projects, and I'll show a look at the other ones as well. I kind of dropped the ball on getting some final videos, so these clips are the ones that I ended up getting. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you some inspiration for birthday party prep and what you can do with the Cricut machine. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and I would love it if you subscribed if you are new to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.